Hey guys, before we get into this video, here's a quick word from my friends at the Victory Hockey League. The Victory Hockey League is a fast-growing Be a Pro simulation experience. Your journey begins after you enter in some basic information about the player you're creating. After that, you have 30 TPE. Now that's basically the virtual currency that is used to make your player better, and the possibilities are endless. Build him however you please. Once you get drafted, your journey to legendary status has begun. You'll be experiencing the life of a pro hockey player where you can get traded, become a free agent, and even discuss contracts with your general manager. Now, my virtual career has already started, so you guys have a lot of catching up to do. I hope to see you there. What's going on, guys? Cyn for the win here, and welcome to a new and different franchise mode. We're going with the San Jose Sharks here, and you know what that means? Doug Wilson. No rebuilds allowed. We are going every single year, trying to make the playoffs, trying to go for a cup. So, and new draft restrictions as well. Only one first rounder allowed, and only 3 picks in the first and second round. Or, if you guys want, we could just do 3 picks in the first and second round. Maybe have a couple seconds, but or a couple first, but I don't know. Sharks really aren't that kind of team to ever get that much. So, and then for the draft pick totals, only 9 total each year. Only 9. So, again, we're going to have to act like the San Jose Sharks. Try to find all kinds of later round talent. We're going all in for the cup every single year. And I'm going to try my best to kind of act more like Doug Wilson would, and not so much how GM Cyn would. So, I mean, a lot of it I kind of already do, always looking for late round steals and stuff like that, but in this one, very little to start with prospect-wise, so we got to keep, letting that flow, but we got to keep trying to improve this team. Now, I did do some roster changes, and I'll show you more of the details on that in a bit. Get out of here. But, yeah. Yeah. I'll definitely mess with these lines a bit, but I'm just kind of giving you the overview here. And you can maybe see some ticks here and there. Like, for one, Radim Šimić is a 75 in this game, and that is sort of an atrocity for the guy. He has turned out to be an incredibly solid defensive defenseman, like ridiculous. Now, he is listed as a two-way guy, but he's built like a defensive defenseman. And so that is how he is going to play. Like, Dell gets decreased. Jones stays where he is. Inconsistent, man. But yeah, I'll definitely be going in depth to kind of show what's going on here. But as of right now, these are the lines that we're rolling with. But yeah, I'm keeping in a lot of the added players and stuff like that. I got them assigned to the teams. I made a lot of changes to this roster because I watch it all the time. I know who needs to go up, which areas they need to go up and downs. Like, for instance, LeBanc increase his offense while decreasing that defense because, well, LeBanc has tremendous offensive upside, but his defense is not so good. Stuff like that. Little minor changes that I can be afforded to make from watching this team so often, keeping them as balanced as possible, while also making it so this team is a team that has, chances to go all in, and we'll make trades that make sense with that. We're gonna be trading some first. We're gonna try to get these good players, try to re-sign guys. It's all about we're in a win now mode, so we have to constantly be looking for late round prospects to kind of refresh the tanks and keep making this team a great team. That is going to be the challenge in this one. No tanking. No rebuild type moves, nothing like that. Every year you are pushing for the cup. So it's not just good enough to make the playoffs. If you're not in a good position to perhaps win the cup, then there's changes will have to be made. So that is kind of the theme throughout this, and like I said, trying to make it as realistic as possible, make moves that Doug Wilson would make, for instance, not just pure skill guys from the draft. He likes an edge. He likes some defensive upsides. Of course, skill guys are great. But yeah, so that's kind of that's the plan in this, and obviously try to get Erik Karlsson re-signed. So yeah, that's what we're going with here. So let me show you all the more in-depth roster additions that I did real quick. All right, and we will start here with all the creative players I did, have them assigned to teams. Adam Fox is 71 overall, medium top 4 offensive defenseman. Cale Makar, medium elite offensive defenseman in Colorado, 74 overall. Dante Fabro, two-way defenseman, medium top 4, 74 overall. Denisenko, who I tweaked a little bit just because we saw in the last one, in our Rangers one, he got really, really good. He didn't do that in any previous ones, but I still wanted to tweak it just so he wouldn't have like a weird 50-goal season like he did and then have like 30 and 40-goal seasons the rest of the time. So I made some minor tweaks to that. We'll see if it does. I don't know. I'm not the best at creating players, but I tried to do my best. Igor Shesterkin as well on New York. Medium elite, 73 overall. Already 22, though. Farabee, 67. Medium top 6. Jack Hughes, of course. Franchise center playmaker at 80 overall. Josh Norris, 70 overall. And I believe I have him at medium top 6 still, yeah. Odinger, 72 overall. Starter goaltender for Dallas. While he was drafted in the first round, he's pretty much only guaranteed to be an NHLer. We haven't really heard much about him being like a true number 1 or anything like that. So medium starter makes sense for him. Keandre Miller, medium top 4, 64 overall at 19. So he's a hit or miss. Sometimes you can get him to that top 4, but he's always guaranteed to become a top 6 essentially. Samuelson, 61 overall, top 4, I believe. And Wahlstrom, 68 overall, elite, medium. Quinn Hughes, 71 overall, elite. Paling, 69 overall, medium top 6. Kravtsov, a high top 6 at 71 overall, with more offensive than defensive upside. With as is per his scouting report, he does a lot better on offense than defense. So I tried to match all these with their scouting reports and things like that. Again, I'm not a pro when it comes to rosters. I am not Toogie24. Give us roster sharing, EA, so I could steal all his rosters and have amazing franchise modes, because, man, that dude goes above and beyond. If you haven't checked out Toogie24, definitely go over and do that, because, yeah, good friend of mine, and he's a tremendous franchise mode YouTuber. So, with that, we will now check out my edits to the Sharks, which I did make a fair few. And I'll kind of go in and actually show you what I changed too, so you can see where I'm coming from. So Erik Karlsson, I bumped him up to a 91 with his slight offensive stat increases because, well, he's better than Brent Burns. Plain and simple, he's better than Brent Burns, and yeah, he deserved a little bit of an increase. Vlasic, tiny increase with his defensive stats. Yes, he did not have a good start to the year, but you got to look at their entire careers. Vlasic was listed as an 85 overall, which is a bit of a travesty. He is one of, if not the best defensive defenseman in the NHL, and he has been on his game since he came back from injury, as he has been his entire career. Logan Couture was an 86, slight bump up, and I guess I'll go in and actually show you guys what I increased, since I said I'd do that. Yeah, Erik Karlsson. Again, to his passing and offensive awareness, because, again, this guy he can have Norris winning seasons, so it needs to be reflected in those stats. Those are the only stats I changed, was passing, offensive awareness, and that gave him that slight bump up. I guess I'll just save anyway. Brent Burns, I didn't touch, so I'm not going to check that out. Vlasic, I'll show you what I did with him. Again, just slight defensive increases. I might have decreased his offense a bit too. I did a lot here. But yeah, his defensive awareness back up at 93 with his stick checking. Shot blocking at 90. Yeah, I bumped down his offensive awareness, I think, by 1. I think he's at like an 85. Bumped that down. So that is it. Yeah, they're little increases, but I think they more so will reflect in the sim the kind of players they are, while making them closer to the overalls that they deserve. Pavelski wasn't touched. Hurdle was. He's an 85 in this game. He is also only a top 6. I changed it to medium elite. Now, he's already 24, so he might not even grow that much more, but if there's a chance to get him that boost, this guy has broken out this year. He's been the Sharks' most consistent point producer, so of course you want to try to reflect that. He gets the boost to his offensive stats, passing, a little bit to his wrist shot as well. And of course to his awareness to even it up with the passing. His defensive stats I felt were fine. He's a solid defensive player, but he's not like a Bergeron or anything like that. So I felt like 86s on his awareness and stick checking were just fine for the kind of player he is. I did bump up his faceoffs a bit. They're only at 75, which Hurdle's not. He's pretty dang good at faceoffs. So yeah, bump him up there to make it more reflective. And since he's been playing mostly center now, instead of wing like he did a lot in the past, he has earned that spot. Timo Meier, no increase to overall. However, I did change him from a medium top 6 to a high top 6 to maybe get him 1 or 2, probably not 2, but 1 more tick of growth here. And then anything else can maybe come from stat growth. Again, 85 I think is a bit more fair for him nowadays. I checked out all of his stats. I think everything lines up. And discipline, yeah, a bit lower. He does take some penalties. He's got a hot head sometimes. But yeah, he's having, again, another guy having a breakout year. But I think 85 is a solid amount for him. Evander Kane was an 84. Again, bumped him up a little bit because of the year he's having. He's gonna he's gonna be guaranteed 30 goal scorer. Well, not guaranteed, but he's pretty much gonna get to 30 plus goals, probably even 60 points. Like that is, he's getting more points on the Sharks at a rate that he's really never gotten in his career. So. Again, bumped up his passing and offensive awareness a bit. Of course, his shot, mostly wrist shot. He's not a big slap shot taker, but I did bump up his slap shot accuracy slightly for one-time situations. Offensive awareness, yeah, you can see it right there. Defensively, I kind of left him the same. Fighting skill, could maybe bump that up, whatever. That's not even a big deal. So that's Evander Kane. And furthermore... Joe Thornton didn't touch. Donskoy I did a bit. Now, he's only an 82. Weirdly, I subtracted and added to this guy the same amount of each. Like, subtracted the same amount that I added, but I guess it just favors his offense a bit more. I increased his offense because, again, Donskoy is a guy with good offensive upside. His defense was a little bit overdone. Like, he was at like an 86. 86 is for, like, his defensive skills, so I decreased those because, yeah, he's good and all, but not that good on defense. He's a tenacious little forward, but he's not that great. So I think it might have been because I increased his deking, although I don't think deking has much to do with his overall. No, it isn't. So it was just weird. I guess it favored those offensive stats a bit more, but whatever. 80s is fine. I mean, the guy's playing second line, so hey-o. But production-wise, yeah, he's an 82 overall. LeBanc, maybe I could have raised, like, overall-wise. Based on he's going to have a 50-point year, but he can still grow. He's got low top 6. He's at 20. He's 22 overall. And I'll show you exactly what I did to him. Again, raised offense, lowered defense. Tremendous offensive upside. You already saw that, but his defense lowered down to 84. It was at 85. I'm like, no. No. Sorry. Kevin LeBanc, still got a lot to work on as a defensive entity. So that's that with put him in the bank. Money in the bank, I should say. Braun, I didn't touch, actually. I felt 81 is okay for him. Usually I'd bump him up, but this year, I leave him. Dylan was an 82. I bumped him down to an 81. Because while his numbers are great, and he's a great defenseman, he's also been playing a lot with Erik Karlsson, so your plus-minus is bound to be good when you're playing with Erik Karlsson. So I decreased him a bit, and I only decreased, I think it was his passing and offensive awareness were both at 81. I decreased those down. That's literally all I did. His defense is good in my books. I think that's he's a good defensive defenseman, but I just wanted to decrease him a little bit, so I did that. Just to make things more fair. Just show you guys I'm not just increasing everyone. Making the changes that I see realistic for this roster. Šimik was a big one. Again, he started at 75. So I bumped him up in a lot of different areas. One of the main ones is his body checking. His body checking was in like the 70s. He has some incredible power when he lays the body. Bumped that up to 90. If you've seen him hit, you will understand why. I don't know how he does it. The guy's only like 6 foot, maybe not even that. He just has that build where he just lays dudes out. yeah, I just kind of bumped everything up by a few, but mainly to his defense because he's taken on some of the team's top players and made tremendous defensive plays across this year. So this has been a process of I keep kind of raising Simek the more and more I see him play. You know, initially I made him at 77, you know, just in that top 6 range. Then it was a 78, then it was a 79. And with the more he plays now and as responsible as a defenseman can be with playing with Brent Burns, like that's tough. But he's been playing with Brent Burns. And he has been shutting things down. So yeah, that's where I increased everything, aggressiveness up to match with his body checking. And he's very disciplined. He doesn't really, he didn't take penalties really at all. So really reflected that in his discipline. Also to counteract the sim cheese where high hitters take like a shit ton of penalties. So tried to, the discipline might be a little bit higher rated than you normally see, but I want to, you know, this guy, I want to see him lay in the body. You know, not necessarily taking a bunch of penalties as he, you know, he doesn't do that in real life. He didn't Ryan didn't touch. Sorensen, Gaudreau, none of these guys I touched. I did touch Gambrell a bit. He's gonna be solid. Now I changed him from 68 to 70 overall. Changed his potential from top 9 to top 6, but he's 22, so it's not like this guy's gonna become a second liner by any means, but a guaranteed third line center, and that's essentially what this guy will be for on a San Jose Sharks team, a guaranteed bottom 6 type center guy. I've watched him play Barracuda and San Jose, so that's kind of what I did to that. I also made a couple changes, actually just one really, to the Barracuda. I guess I'll show that real quick because it does matter, because our future, it has a bit to do with our future. And if you're wondering why this change was made, I just beg you to go look at the stats for this young guy. Joseph Coronar, 20 years old, medium starter. He's listed as a backup in this. So why the medium starter change? Again, go check out his stats as an undrafted 20-year-old. They are filthy. So I bumped him up to a 68 overall. Changed the potential to medium starter. I feel like that puts him on good track to either hit or miss. But hopefully hit. Because, again, I think this guy could break out into the NHL. It's way too soon to say if he'll be a number 1 or even, you know, or past that, or even like a fringe starter. It's too early to say in this guy's career. You know, first year AHL success. He's done great in other leagues. Some inconsistencies here and there. But overall, as an undrafted guy, this guy has the potential to be in the NHL. So I gave him the Oettinger treatment, basically. Where, yeah, looks like he'll be in the NHL. What kind of goalie he will be when he gets there is up for debate. So that's kind of what I did with Coronar there. But yeah, I honestly, if you're scratching your head at that one, I urge you to look at his stats for this year. They're very good. Although Barracuda just had like an 8-goal against game. I wonder if he was playing in that. Probably got put in, but so I might have decreased it a bit. Anyway, so those were the changes that I made to the roster. And now we can get back in and start up with the simulation here. I could have just hit continue. What am I doing? There we go. Oh, don't look at that one at the very bottom. That's nothing. All right, so I'll probably switch some things up on these lines here and optimize them a bit better. But how much do I want to do that, I should say. Oof, I should have changed one of these guys' face-offs. Well, Redeal. Because Melker Karlsson just has shit face-offs. Anyway, we'll put Redeal in there. Gaudreau could have been increased to like 72, but it doesn't matter. Either way. Might do something like this for defense. Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna do all these lines. Try to fix them to the ways that I think we'll see fit. But we'll probably be doing a lot of optimizing here in this year, just to kind of figure out what the heck we're gonna do. So yeah, I'll see you guys in a bit. All right, so I've actually got the lines pretty identical to what the Sharks actually have their lines as. I'm gonna start off with that. See what Doug Wilson this team can do. And again, we want to make sure that this team can sim. So if you guys are actually seeing, like, maybe even want more increases based on certain things, we can do that. And then, yeah, other stuff like that to make this team kind of try to sim really well. We'll see. I don't know. But depth, hopefully depth works for us. Maybe Sorensen could stand to be increased. But I didn't want to go too overboard and seem biased, you know? So I'm going to need your guys' opinions. But we're going to do that first couple months of simming. No guarantee we're going to keep that. And with the trade deadline right around the corner, there might be a change that happens to this roster that you guys will want to implement. So we're not going to go too far. But yeah, these are going to be the lines that we get going. I might even switch Shimmick and Dillon here, because I want to make sure Braun and he are happy ice time wise. We're going to give Braun that top PK time. Might even switch him now here to keep it the same. Yeah, let's do that. All right, so they're not going to be identical lines. I'm going to optimize them slightly better, or at least slightly more for us. But yeah, you saw the starting lineups. Here's the power play: Couture, Pavelski, Hurdle, Carlson, Burns, because that is a filthy power play that the Sharks utilize a lot. And you can see Carlson here double shifted, because that often happens. We often double shift Erik Karlsson on the power play. So I'm going to try that in the sim, see how that works. And of course, LeBanc on the point where he often is. Meyer, Thornton, Kaner. Yeah, that's what we're doing here. Yeah, that's what we're getting you. All right, 4-man. Hurdle, Couture, Carlson, Burns, Pabs, Meyer, Vlasic, LeBanc. Penalty kill: Pavelski, Donskoy, Vlasic, Braun, Couture, and Carlson. All these big penalty kill type guys. I left Donskoy in there because he's got good stats. I want to try him out here. And then those pairings. Carlson does play on the PK. He has good defensive stats. We'll see how he does. Sometimes offensive defensemen don't do too good on the PK here, but he does get PK time, as does Burns. But the Sharks also roll 3 different PK lines, so can't really reflect that here. I got to pick and choose. Here's the 4-on-4 lines. Again, giving Braun some extra time up here, like that. 3-on-3, all very similar. Besides, obviously, Vlasic in there. He's not amazing, but yeah, got to go with something extra. Get Cooch in there. Didn't touch that, obviously. Game just does that. Oh, I didn't touch. Oh, what a surprise. I didn't do much. Yeah. Hurdle will be in there. I'm completely... You know what? They do have Pabs taking shots. And we don't have Erik Karlsson taking shots, but he's well good enough to. Not so much you, so... Could put Timo time in there. See how his deking is. Good enough with a good enough shot. All right, Timo time. Goaltenders, obviously. Scratches, we got Ryan Heat. I'm having Suomela be our depth guy, because there's really no one else to be depth. So, all right, we are ready to go here. So it's time to do the first round of simming and see how this team's going to do. Everything's the same. Injuries are on it, set at 20 for the sliders. I don't have any scouts, and you know what? I'm not going to worry about it right now. I will mix in some stuff if we feel, but I have a feeling that you guys are going to want to see some minor changes depending on how this sim goes, so I'm not going to worry about the scouting now and min-max with that. We're going to get going here. Do this, we'll go the little first bit first, like I usually do. I got to stretch, baby. So yeah, I want to see how this team can sim. Basically, that's what I'm looking at. How is their record going to be? Now, of course, Sharks start off pretty slow this year, but they got really good. I just want to see him averaging, you know, I want to see him in the top 3 for the division, and at least being able to sustain that for most of the time. Injury dependent, of course, but yeah, we'll see what's gonna happen here. Again, not gonna worry about scouts whatsoever right now. So okay, regular season starts. Yeah, lose to Anaheim. Well, we did actually lose to Anaheim in real life. Back when the Sharks could not by any luck. All right, so things are starting off pretty good. We're not winning every game 5-4, which is what happens a lot. Been hard to find. Yeah, I'm not gonna see anything. Why even bother? Well, they're starting off how they did, inconsistent in the beginning of the year. But overall, I'm quite satisfied with the sim so far. I don't know if it's the perfect reflection, but Yeah, inconsistency on offense, which has not been a problem this year. 6-5-1 to start off. Let's see production-wise. Yeah, I mean, he had a slow start, but... And maybe haven't played in too many places. Couture, Pavelski. I like where the production is, and I like how it is reflected. It's looking really good. Meyer could have more goals, of course, but yeah. Hurdle has been more... What the hell? Not much from Jumbo. Only on the power play, too. That is interesting. Oh, well. Again, still very early. Carlson and Burns racking up those kind of points, though, is... Yeah. Makes sense. Burns should be racking up more, but, you know. Oh, I wish. Oh, that would be nice. I wish. Good job. That for sure ain't sustainable. That's just hilarious. Playoff Jones, yes. Regular season Jones, No, not really. All right, so this is a good experiment. It looks like goal scoring is a bit inconsistent, like putting up the amount of goals that we need to win games, even though this team is one of the deeper teams. Maybe just needs a bit more optimization on the third line to get that scoring a bit more. We'll see at the end of this 2-month period. We'll go really in depth with it. Oof, Chekovich is the top 9. I should have messed with more prospects. At least, because I mean, it makes sense why they have them ranked low because they're late picks. But god damn, are they producing in their respective leagues? Much better start here. Yeah, I'm gonna have to check that goals for. Should be around 3 because the Sharks have maintained well over 3 this entire year. They're third in goals for per game, which is tremendous. I mean, I think it's looking pretty good. The record is, it's looking really good. Again, we're not going to be able to mimic the frickin', you know, to the T. Actually, in first, Anaheim's in second. Calgary's way down there. Jesus Christ. Yeah. I mean, how lucky are we going to get with the sim, to be honest? It just, Calgary's goaltending is so shit. And it should be reflected in that. It is reflected. They have shit goaltending. So it doesn't make sense how good they're doing this year. But they're doing amazing this year because they're freaking scoring like crazy. Yeah, goals against, that is ridiculous. But goals for make a whole lot of sense. That's exactly where it should be. I mean, that's the Sharks. That's only like a 0.1 difference from what the Sharks average in this league. The goals against, I mean, you have an 86 goaltender. It shouldn't be that good, but the Sharks also have amazing defense. So when they do lock it down, again, it's going to be hard to mimic the things just right. But as you can see, at least with our goal scoring, with our offense, and with our team type stuff, I decreased defensemen in a lot of ways. Increased some, but I think it reflects what they are in real life. Again, we're not going to be able to mimic their performance with sim numbers because, as you can see, Martin Jones is doing way too good. Lowering him to like an 84 isn't right because he should be at mid-80s because he can have tremendous playoff runs. So, yeah. Power play percentage is good. Penalty kill, yeah, needs to be better, but 9-1 in the last 10. We're on a crazy good streak. Sharks can go on good streaks. Now this is it. This is the big test. How is this team doing? Couture, Pavelski. I mean, yeah, for forwards, there's your leaders. Hurdle needs to be way higher, but unfortunately not. Kane's got 13 goals. Like, he's doing really well. Meyer's got 20 points. Donskoy is slowing him down, and it makes a bit of sense, but yeah. He'll still have a good year, as will Kane. Good power play production as well. So, I mean, you're getting it from a lot of good places. Jumbo. Slower start, but, you know, what can you do? LeBanc should probably have a tiny bit more production here and there. But again, that third line doesn't even have a shooter. Like, Sorensen's not a shooter. I wish he was, but he ain't. Okay, defensively, I mean, it's switched. Burns would have these points, and Carlson wouldn't, but Carlson's way better just in every way. So, yeah, it makes sense. Again, not going to be very, very difficult to mimic real life. Look at Burns getting those power play goals, though. Overall, I like how things are going right now. I mean, yeah, Martin Jones shouldn't be doing that good. Neither should Aaron Dell, but hey, the game split is actually probably more than it should be, but it ain't too bad. At least you're resting Martin Jones a lot. So we can't do much about goaltenders simming well. They either sim well or they don't sim well. But it could be a reflection on how good the defense is. But the Sharks have, in my opinion, one of the best defensive cores in the NHL. I mean, you got Carlson, Burns, Vlasic. Enough said. And we have a large split. Like, yeah, we have like 3 elite guys, but then the other guys aren't too good. We have 2 81s and an 80. So I mean, we have a good spread on things to keep it going. Damn it, he is losing morale because of ice time. Son of a bee sting. Oh well. Yeah, so let me know what you guys think. Would you like to see any more tweaks here and there? We have an idea of what this team would sim like. And, oh my god. I knew this was going to happen. So, I just got a notification on my phone. Kevin Labanc has been traded to Ottawa for Dzingel. Labanc in a second to Ottawa for Dzingel. Well, I should probably start this over anyway. So definitely let me know about any more changes that you would like to see. How perfect is that? I was thinking, oh, I'll probably start this. I'll miss a trade and like I'll have to go back and make some changes. But at least that'll give me more time to make some further changes to the rosters. So if let me know any changes that won't be reflected in a roster update, and we'll get this going. But I do want to start this series. I think it'll be a departure from what we normally do, kind of rebuilding a team and stuff. We are going to try to always stay competitive while keeping the prospect pool fresh, drafting all these guys, but not hesitating to trade those prospects and picks to win now. So it's a full-on kind of win now mode, while at the same time relying heavily on finding draft deals and things like that. So yeah, we'll probably start over anyway. We'll definitely get the scouts optimized a bit better. Make that trade for Labanc and Dzingel. And I know it's not at the beginning of the year, but hey. And maybe I'll make some other increases here and there to this roster to make the scoring more reflective. But I think the scoring is actually good the way how it is right now. I mean, Donsko's point totals are kind of akin to what he does. Yes, he's a second-line player, but he's more of the kind of workhorse, kind of create space for others. So really, I think I kind of like where the production is right now. But maybe there could be some changes here and there to the roster. So let me know. And again, starting over the sim might make Martin Jones sim a bit more, realistically. So yeah. That's where we're at. And that could, oh yeah, I'll probably just go ahead and do the, oh shit, yeah, I didn't even do the Duchesne trade. So there we go. We'll take care of a lot of that stuff. So I actually had all the rosters made a few days in advance. Didn't even think about that Duchesne trade just made. So, well, there we go. We have a lot to do before we restart this. But you have an idea of how this team will sim. So you can kind of give me more feedback on rosters. And, let me know any other rules you'd like to see me implement about drafting or trading or otherwise, anything like that, to make this more of a Doug Wilson GM mode than a GM Cyn type franchise. Like, I'm still gonna be myself. I'm still gonna make, abuse the draft, as people say, but I can't help it. I mean, you get good scouts and they find good players, and you pick them. But yeah. And again, that'll actually fit in what the Sharks do. Find a lot of late-round talent. So yeah, let me know about all that kind of stuff. I think this should be a fun series. So guys, remember to leave a like. It helps a lot. Yeah, let the comments fly with any ideas for rosters or otherwise. Remember to leave that like, and we will see you in the next one. If watching my videos just isn't enough Cyn for you, be sure to go over there on Twitter and shoot me a follow, and you could even join our Discord server as well to talk with some of the other Cynners out there. The links to both are in the description.